Hey there, beautiful people. My name is Tim Lee, and welcome to my channel here and another Draw Too Much sketch lesson. Today, we're cracking out the book again, the 300 drawing prompts book that was given to me by my mother-in-law. I haven't used it in forever, and I thought it would be really great to crack this open and use this to teach us a little bit more about design. Take a look at some of the other drawings that we have done. Basically, long story short, this is a book full of empty pages, but on each page, there are notes on each page of what you should draw. So what we're doing is we're going through these pages one by one, hoping to do all 300 and talk a little bit about how we can build up our mind to think more in a designer's mindset instead of just focusing on caricatures like we've been doing. Getting a better designer's mind is going to help us be a better caricature artist. Take a look at my previous video where I'm talking about the starting technique of drawing names, and you're going to see about how important knowing some of the design elements of drawing in thirds, of understanding that crazy rule of that thing that looks like a snail and things like that, where that all plays key effects in your final artwork. You should check some of that stuff out. We're going to be talking a lot more about that in future videos. For now, let's see what we're drawing today. I have no idea what's coming up for us here, and then we're going to take 10 minutes in this video to draw that now. I do suggest, please join me in this. Pause this video now, get yourself a pencil and a piece of paper, whatever tools you like to use. If you like watercolor, whatever you choose to do, please go and get those utensils ready and get ready to draw with me. And then please, if you don't mind, I would love it if you'd go to our Facebook page, Draw Too Much Artists Anonymous, and consider uploading your image that you drew from our book and share it with us. I think it would be really, really cool. Are you ready to get started? Let's see what we have today. So cracking open the book here, we've already done Angel's Wings, Dr. Seuss's Hat, Your Reflection, Asteroids, The Milky Way, a comic book cover, which was absolutely terrible. And the next one on the list for today, here we go, a lotus flower. Okay, now if you know what a lotus flower looks like, great, get to work. If you have no idea what a lotus flower looks like, if I may suggest something, don't look it up. Let's build up a little bit of our inspiration as well. Let's try to think outside the box. Maybe you have an idea of what a lotus flower looks like, but you're not quite sure. Let's crack open our drawing brain and see what we can accomplish without knowing what this lotus flower looks like. If you know what it is, go for it, but here's your chance to really think as far as you want. If the lotus flower reminds you of a character from a movie or a cartoon, if it reminds you of special memory, focus on that. Use this to be a moment of inspiration that leads you to where you want to go. And then if you share this on our Artists Anonymous community, then please tell the story on why you were inspired by that. Are you ready? We're going to go ahead and put 10 minutes on the clock. Actually, I'm going to put 5 minutes and 10 minutes on the clock, and that way we know when we're halfway through and when we should be fully done. Here we go, guys. 5 minutes is on and 10 minutes is on. Let's go ahead and get this started. I'm going to go ahead and start first by changing my background to a 50-50 gray. So this is the most neutral gray that I can draw on. As soon as this gets put in here, there we go, then we're ready to rock and roll. I'm going to grab my red, and I'm just going to go ahead and start sketching out. I'm going to try and do this in a bit of a perspective instead of just drawing something straight forward at me. I kind of want to think about this in a perspective. So I'm going to pretend that I'm looking down at water here, and I'm just going to draw myself a bit of a perspective grid. Okay, and my goal is just to come up with something on this bit of perspective grid. So a perspective grid is very, very helpful because it lets you see things in many different formats. It helps you think of an infinity area, like this is going to be the horizon line, and then everything in here is going to really help you create your design. So if I want to start my lotus flower here, and actually I'm going to try and think in a rule of thirds. So let me draw a box here for the rule of thirds here. And this is going to kind of help me figure out where I want to put some of this stuff. So right here, roughly, I think I'm going to try and put my lotus flower up here in this corner. And I think it's kind of like a lily pad. I think it actually is I'm not even sure. And like I'm saying, don't even worry about that. If you don't know what it is or you do know what it is, just go. Just start creating something. Try to think out of your head, and you only got 10 minutes, so you can't really take a lot of time to look up reference photos. You don't really have any time to do anything like that. Just focus on what is inspiring you. Come up with something and just build on it as best you can. So I see this fun little lotus blossom sort of thing here. It kind of looks like a flower, I guess, I hope. and then I kind of see like some kind of a fish chilling out in the water down below. And this might be more time than I have time for, but this is just, this is your chance just to kind of see what you can do. Now, remember, if you're going kind of with the design that I'm doing, and it's up to you if you want to do that, and I'm not saying you do, I say come up with your own thing. Try to think on looking down on this fish from up above, and try to build this idea of looking down on this fish from up above. That's going to be a very key thing as well. Okay. So just focus on getting some kind of design on here. Just start building up your layers and your flow, and the quicker you can get the sketch done, the better. That's going to be the key thing, is just thinking outside the box. All right, so that looks really, really cool. I really dig that. And then I'm just going to see what I do in the future here. I don't know if I'm going to do anything in lines of this, because that horizon line means that's the absolute horizon line out in the very far away distance. It's far too far away. What I can also do is change my horizon a bit more, but here's the thing, I've already drawn this flower to kind of fit on this plane. So if I continue to change my horizon, then that means my flower needs to come up towards me more, which means I might need to rethink this a bit more and make this flower look like we're looking into it a bit more, which might take a bit, either adding to it to make it look like we're looking into it, or redrawing it. And we are at 1 minute and 25 seconds, so I don't have a lot of time to really focus on this much more. I'm going to go ahead and do this as an inked drawing, and try and have a little bit of fun with it, but at the same time, sometimes painting this kind of stuff would actually be a little bit better. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try something different. One of the things that I like to do is try to think outside of my usual and come up with stuff that isn't quite what I would usually do. I think that's a very key thing, using different elements that I wouldn't usually use to do these drawings, thinking outside the box. So I'm actually going to sketch this one out with a pencil here and try to make the final piece feel very artsy, in lines of using a pencil and trying to create that final flow. Like I said, if you have no experience drawing flowers, that's okay. I don't either. When I was a kid, I used to be pretty good at drawing flowers straight on, but that's just because it was cheating. And so being able to draw a realistic flower, drawing flowers are incredibly difficult. There's a lot of beautiful form that goes into drawing a realistic flower. The shading and dynamics of doing that are just absolutely incredible. But I mean, you've already done something more important than drawing this flower, and you've drawn this flower in an area of perspective. That in itself is very, very important. All right, there goes our first 5 minutes. We got 5 minutes left, guys. And it's so unfortunate, because it's nice to be able to do these studies and really focus in on some of this stuff, but you're going to quickly run out of time. If you're enjoying what you're doing, though, and don't mind me for changing my canvas around, this is just so I can knock this out a bit quicker. If you're enjoying what you're doing, don't stop, Just give yourself a point that you can remember that was at 5 minutes. This is how much you completed in 5 minutes. This is how much you completed in 10 minutes, and then keep moving on. Don't give up on yourself from here, And then move on from there. There we go. Oh, my computer's freezing up a little bit. Are we back? Yep, there we go. So what I'm doing now is I'm just kind of building up some of the shadow areas here and trying to make this a bit more artistic-y. Artistic-y. There we go. That looks really cool. And I admit I'm enjoying spending time focusing on this flower that I haven't even started on my fish. I haven't even tried to put any color in here, and we're already at 3 minutes and 36 seconds. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in here and go ahead and move over to the fish here and see what I can get accomplished. My time is running out far too quick for me, so let's just see what I can accomplish here. And the thing is, a nice thing about drawing in sketch like this is the fact that it's not a finished piece. And because it's not a finished piece, you're able to kind of accept whatever you get, you know? And yeah, you might turn it into something finished, but because I'm scratching it so much in comparison to my usual forms, it's not going to be what I'm usually used to. I'm usually used to a very vectorized final piece. If you've seen any of my work in the past, you know that I I need to take it so much further than I ever do in this sort of form. It needs to go into something that is very hard and crisp. And this sketching is fun, but it almost makes me feel a little naked as I'm drawing it because it's not completed. It's not done. That looks pretty cool as well. Zooming out here. Nothing needs to be perfect. So I got this design going on here so far, and I kind of want to show that the water is kind of it's got a rhythm coming off of this lily pad here. I'm at 2 minutes left, and I think one of the things that's really going to help me here in the next couple seconds is throwing in some color, and not color, but basically, let me turn off the background layer, and let's see what we got that we're looking at here. And we got this cool design, but it's just this generic tone. So I want to introduce you guys to a new theory, and that's introducing white into your pieces. If you're drawing on a tone page like this, let's just go ahead and start with grabbing white. And in areas where you think the sun is going to hit, just start cross-hatching these areas where the sun is going to hit or reflect through your flower. Think about if the flower is wet and put more in those areas. Think about where that sun's going to hit and intensify it with cross-hatching. And if you don't know what cross-hatching is, it's drawing a line one way and then coming back and drawing the other way. And allow your brain to kind of loosen up and see that white as a highlight, a point of light. And just go for it. If I want to put like a really sharp highlight there, then I'll just draw it on there as quick as I can. Just to make it look a little wet. Okay. Right there, you can already see that we've added, sorry, my thing's going crazy. We've already added a certain layer of change to this that looks really, really cool. And if you zoom out more, you might actually think that maybe you could add a bit more to some points and really start building it up. What are we at? We're at 16 seconds. We've barely even begun, unfortunately. When you could do something really amazing with this. If you're enjoying yourself, don't stop here, guys. Just keep going with it, you know. These videos are made to be quick and push on even more, but you can have more fun with it than I get the chance to do in these 10 minutes here. Also, when it comes to the water, water is very wet, so enjoy. Water is wet. The water equals wet. Wet is water. Water is wet. I mean, there's if you don't have, tell me where dry water is. You know, just no, not ice. Shut up. But take your time and create these highlights and build highlights. And if you're finding that it's not detailed enough, go even darker, or go even darker with the grays, or go even darker with the blacks. You can take your black and add more shading to these areas like this, or we can take this and build up the shadow tones and things like that down here. Well, guys, that's going to do it for this video here. Unfortunately, this is far too quick, but take the time to really try to test this theory. The design doesn't end at just a certain drawing. You need to inspire yourself and come up with new techniques. I found that doing this concept of this white and black on gray really helped teach me about realism. And really helped me start learning to draw faces in these tones and in black and white. And it makes it really fun and very different from what you could do. And something else that'd be kind of interesting is you can literally use airbrushes with white and in large passes over areas. You can add these intensive whites or intensive blacks in certain places that basically begin to feather your designs and really start to change their look with just a couple passes. An airbrush is a beautiful instrument that that can either be used really quickly in a good way, or unfortunately be overused in a bad way. Too much airbrushing can make things look really, really cloudy, and not enough airbrushing will just, it'll give shadow tone, but it won't give structure to what you're doing. Well, that's gonna do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Like the video, leave a comment, subscribe, and don't forget to take a look at Draw Too Much Artists Anonymous on our Facebook page. And if you're enjoying what you're seeing here and you'd like to get videos a little bit quicker, you want to be part of my live streams or whatever, then please consider becoming a Patreon. I would love that. The link is in the description below. Cheap as $1 per video that I put up. It would mean a lot to me. You can set your limits so you only support $1 a video. You only support one video a month. I mean, there's lots of great ways to make sure that you're not spending next to nothing, and yet you're helping me out a lot, because the more people that support me, even at $1 value, means that I can spend more time doing this and less time working on other pieces that pay more money. Well, guys, that's going to do it. I do hope that you enjoyed this. Quick and simple, but at the same time, you can see what we've created in 15 minutes. All right, God bless. We'll see you next time right here on another Draw Too Much sketch lesson. See you guys.